Rage racked on wreckage bent, Grendel ripped open the iron-studded doors. They were no hindrance to him. He scanned the dark hall through fire-blazing eyes, saw the slumbering thanes still drowsy in sleep, the solitary, startled sentry, the whole war-band rejoicing at the prospect of another flesh feast. This vile and vengeful creature laughed out loud at his good fortune. He would tear each and every one of them to pieces, stain Herod's floor once more with the lifeblood. A night of gore and gluttonous pleasure lay ahead of him, or so it seemed. And so it began, too, as he snatched up the first Geatish sentry he saw. Hancio, he was called, and simply tore him apart, bolting his flesh in great gobbets, gnawing and gnashing on his bones, stripping the meat, sucking the veins, until, in moments, nothing of the poor helpless man was left, not a hair on his head, not a hand, not a foot, not even a nail. That was just the beginning for him, Grendel thought. Onto his next victim he pounced at once, reaching out to grab him with his killing claws. But now he was met with a grip of steel, a grip harder, tighter than he had ever known, that seized him and held him fast by the arm. Locked in the vice grip of this grip, he could not break free, however much he struggled, and he knew at once that he had met his match. Filled with sudden fear, the monster struggled again and again to unloose this fist, yearning only now to be far away from Herod and home back in the safety of his lair. Vainly he tried to pull away, but Beowulf's fingers fastened harder, still in an ever-tightening grip around the killer's arm. How Grendel longed to get out, to escape to the forest and fens, but now no power on this earth could force Beowulf to release his grip. Now Grendel, this merciless, murderous ogre, knew that he should never have come this night, that his death was coming, and despite all his efforts to tear himself away, there was nothing he could do to prevent it, no way he could save himself. Fear of this death drove him mad with anger, and anger only made him stronger. He would fight to the death to save himself. He would never give in. It was amazing that the great hall of Herod was not split asunder that night. So ferocious was the wrestling between these two giants. Locked together in this deadly embrace, they reeled and writhed about the mead hall, so that all the dames outside could hear a dreadful cacophony of crashing and crying resounding throughout Herod. Gold-worked trappings and iron braces, all well made and sturdy, simply snapped and buckled as the two of them, in deadly earnest, wrestled and grappled and struggled with each other. There was no ground given in this terrible fight, nor mercy either. So they fought on, this Grendel now fear-soaked, his strength failing him, and brave Beowulf, fists still clenched around the monster's arm, and knowing he'd only cling on and not let go to banish this demon to hell forever, the damned one, God and his own worst enemy. Outside, they clearly heard the monster demon scream, his hideous howling screech. The sound of it chilled every listener to the bone, and yet hope gladdened them too, for these they knew were not human cries, but rather the strident sobbing of the beast in agony and in terror.